What's up, fellow collectors? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. I will be your tour guide today, guys. Maybe a little bit of curator going on today, curating, but I'm going to be more or less your tour guide here in our collection room slash archives slash storage area, guys. And if you can't hear that noise, that chirping in the back, that's outside of the museum, guys. That's how early we are here. We got the coffee on, but you can still hear the crickets outside. That's how early we are here in the museum. That's the type of work we've been doing, guys, in the wee hours here in the museum, trying to locate items, trying to do some straightening up, trying to put the video together, put this video together, guys. This video is a video that some people have been asking for. I've been thinking about doing for quite some time. It's about storage space and how precious storage space really is, guys. Really how precious it is. And this is where you see items that would normally look out of place, but to me, they're right where they're supposed to be because I kind of know where everything is. I have a decent idea of kind of like where everything is here in our archives and our storage area slash collection room. I spend 2/3 of my time here in this area of our museum than I do in our main area of our museum, where it's more glamorous looking. Everything is where it's supposed to be. It's in place. Everything's neatly stocked and labeled. Everything's where it's supposed to be. That's where we shoot all the videos at, but here, this is where, when I have an overflow, I'm buying stuff like crazy. I'm adding stuff like crazy to our museum. This is where this stuff ends up at. And it looks crazy. It looks like a bomb went off in here, but it really, it's trust me, guys, when I tell you this, it's not that bad. But this is where, like I said, I have to do a lot of decision making. And what I mean by that, guys, is when you have very few options for storing things, you have to make some decisions. You have to make some good, hard, solid decisions on what's going to go into the main museum area, and what's going to come out of there, what's going to stay, what's going to be packed away. But I have over 7,000 items in my museum, that exist in tons of these tubs, these plastic tubs. And you'll see stuff just laying around, but I have stuff here for a reason. Believe it or not, the stuff that you see laying on top are items that I enjoy looking at on a daily basis. This is my Flex Source. This was a gift. I have about 5 or 6 of these guys from my good buddy RV. He had a fantastic YouTube channel, and he gifted these guys to me. And there's not a day that goes by. Like I said, I keep these guys right where I want to see them at. So, but because I can't really set them anywhere in the main museum because they won't stand, I have to find another place for them. So this is where these guys sit. But this is one of my favorite ones, the Skull Man. So that's where he's at. Just because stuff is not in my main museum, does not necessarily mean that it's not my favorite item. Case in point, all of my Star Wars figures from Hasbro / Kenner from the late 1990s. My Cantina Band members. Let's see, we got my Tusken Raider. We have the variant Tusken Raider, Chewbacca, Luke Skywalker in the Bespin fatigues, Darth Vader, another Luke Skywalker in his X-Wing gear, Princess Leia, Han Solo, Stormtrooper, and Greedo, along with my Action Man figures. Let's see here. But it's space, guys. It's all about space and, you know, how to manage space. So we're looking at getting more, because these are this sits on tables. I have a lot of tables. The problem with tables, though, is that they go just so far as by means of space. They actually create spacing problems. So we're looking at getting more shelving. And I was talking about getting some more shelving built. But I think I'm going to go just a cheaper route and just buy some more shelving for right now to really line up along this wall back here, starting from this point down here, all the way down to this point right here. So that will eliminate all the boxes of G.I. Joes that are stored in these boxes here. And I'll get more, oh my goodness, I'll get more plastic tubs to hold more figures. Guys, this is the life of a collector. Any collector that has over 500 items or even over 300 items, and it depends on the space. You know, I got collector buddies that have that live in apartments, and their collection is just too big, you know, so they have to rent out space. And that's the reality, guys, of you know, he said, well, why have all of this stuff? You know, get rid of it. Do a yard sale or something. Everything in my collection, guys, means something to me. Literally everything, from the Conan, you know, FTC figure to the Mego creep show figures, they mean something to me. Everything has a story behind it here. The best thing I could come up with is analogy, I should say, is the Ray Bradbury. You know, he had a show that used to come on back in the early 1980s, and the intro started off with Ray basically saying, taking us into his room where he did all of his writing at, and he would say, hey, all this stuff, it looks crazy now, everything was just thrown around, but everything meant something to him in there. That's where he got all of his ideas. And he said, you know what, I'll never starve in here because of all the great ideas. So people always ask, you know, where do you get your ideas for all of your videos and your concepts? I get them from a lot of places, but 90% of those ideas come from this room, this crazy, thrown together room, you know, the storage area, the archives. This is where it comes from. You know, it's all me thinking, coming down here in this room, pulling up a chair and just looking around, looking at figures, seeing what I have, and seeing what would make a great video to talk about, a great topic of discussion. You know, as we look here, I got my Barbie figures here. There's a Ken figure here that I have I picked up, and I haven't done a video on. I'll probably at some point I'll get around to doing a video on that guy. But I have figures that I just haven't done videos on. More figures that basically you wouldn't think I had, or I had in my collection, or you didn't know I existed, but figures, ideas, things that I come up with just by looking at these figures. As you can see, I have a ton of the 50th anniversary figures here. A penguin, another one of my favorites. Ego. We got Firestorm, Bizarro, another one of my favorites. More is better, guys. Yes, I have a ton of them. If I like a figure enough, if I really like a figure enough, I get multiples. So I have 3 Bizarros, 3 Dr. Fates, 3 Brainiacs, 3 Firestorms. If I like a figure enough, guys, and yes, you could say this is contributing to the space problem, the spacing issues. Not enough space. I do realize that, guys. I do realize that. And so much so that I've made conscious decisions on how much to buy, what not to buy, what's viable, what's necessary. And sometimes I do good with that, and sometimes I don't. I struggle with that. Like any other collector, guys, I have my weaknesses as well. You see something, you really like it, hey, grab 2, Here's some more fantastic Marvel famous cover series. The Thor figure was one of my favorites, so I bought 2 of these for my good buddy, the late great Roberto Ligotti. I have 2 Iron Man figures, but one of my Iron Man figures that I bought prior to getting this one from Roberto, I wasn't quite happy with the box. The box was in fantastic condition, but you know me, guys, I have that illness. So I got another Iron Man figure from Roberto, Hawkeye figure from Roberto, and these guys, just for a lack of space, would be in my main room, collection room, but because they are, they don't have enough space, here we are. So this is where I'll come and check this guy out at. Beautiful. Beautiful. And guys, I don't wish this on anybody. I really don't. I don't wish this, if you're going to be a collector, people ask me all the time to give them tips on collecting, and I say, well, you know what? Definitely collect what you like, but by all means, be reasonable with it. This is over 20 plus years of collecting. And a lot of this stuff. So I would tell them, just be reasonable with it, the best that you can, because who am I to tell people? I'm only telling people what I know from experience. Come up with some game plans as far as collecting. I got into this collecting game, if you want to call that hobby, you know, it started with my G.I. Joe collection. You know, it started with my G.I. Joe collection, my love of G.I. Joe. It just came back out in the early 1990s, and I wanted to get all the G.I. Joes. And for the most part, I did that. And then I got my YouTube channel and I started collecting other things because I realized that I wasn't just a G.I. Joe collector, I was a toy collector. You know, toys from my childhood, things that, you know, brought back great memories, childhood memories, stuff like that. So that's what, you know, really got my attention, you know, and started this whole process of collecting. Here's some Cooper, the Ben Cooper figures from NECA that's driving people crazy. And they keep bringing them out. I keep pre-ordering them. I think I'm missing 3 that I just can't find right now. The Vampire Girl, the variant to the Devil, and the Phantom figure. But for the most part, everything else I have. And if I don't have it, it's on pre-order, so I have it basically. But just you'll see stuff, just random stuff just laying around. I mean, stuff that there's no rhyme or reason. Space is the issue. You know, if I can find a great table or something, I set a ton of stuff down on it. It helps, but at the same time, there's not a day that goes by that I don't want to try to straighten this out. This is going to cost a lot of money, so I'm going to stop collecting a lot and buy more items to help with the storage area, more shelving, things that can get, you know, that can hold more stuff, so I can free up more space. I can move around a little bit better in this room. But at the end of the day, it's just all about what you want. And as far as collecting, I just give some advice here. Take it from me, who has the struggles of space, and I'm sure all of us do. Just rotate your what you like for that month. You know, I've heard that, and that which makes a lot of sense. Rotating your collection. It's hard to rotate 7,000 items, you know, but I do the best I can. That's why the storage space looks the way it looks. It looks really crazy as we swing around here, because, you know, I have so much stuff. So I try to rotate stuff, put things in boxes, take things out of storage, the storage bins and things like that. Put them out so I can see them and enjoy them. I forgot about this Rock'em Sock'em robot set that I purchased maybe a couple years ago from Target. You know, like I said, once again, anything that makes me feel nostalgic or promotes good memories. You know, I'll try to keep out. I'll bring out. So that was in storage for a little bit, and I brought that out. You know, so just rotating is another good idea. You know, for my main museum, very few things get rotated in and out of the main museum, because those items, you know, for lack of just size issues of having the spacing in there, I don't want to move them because some of the items are very delicate, so I don't want to be moving them all the time. It's rare that I'll handle a lot of my items, my toys. This guy got moved around. My Sergeant D, he got moved around and got placed right here because I was trying to create space for some new items that I purchased the other day. And so when that happens, a lot of stuff gets, you know, unearthed, if you will, and moved around. and they wind up just laying on top of stuff. Here's my World Peacekeepers astronaut. And like I said, you like a figure enough, you get two. So I have two of those guys right there. My Exorcist Mego figure got kicked out of my main museum because, once again, spacing. I was trying to add, put some new Mego figures in the main room. So this one had to come out with a few others just so I can create space. And that's the logic behind all of this. I've lost count of how many green shirt Kirks I have from that the whole green shirt Kirk craze back in the day. What, 2019, 2018, 2019? So I have a ton of green shirt Kirks, and I love every one of them. But as you can see, you know, he's right here next to the Grim Reaper Topps exclusive figure, because I don't need all of my green shirt Kirks, nor could I put all of my green shirt Kirks in my main collecting room. So that's why you'll see characters out of order. These three got moved around. My vampire, Scooby-Doo vampire, was a Dracula figure, and you know, the Nightwing FTC figure and the Rick and Morty Mego figure weren't originally here. They had places in the storage area, but because I had to move stuff around, this is where they go. So this is just more or less, guys, it's all about, this episode is all about space and, you know, what I do. But I would really want you to see on a daily basis how it looks. It's not as glamorous as my videos make it out to be. This is the behind the scenes stuff, guys, that I wanted you to see. You know how it looks a daily basis. You know, all wall space is always taken care of. You know, I don't have any wall space available. Very few parts. And here, we'll swing back over here. As you can see, wall space, everything spacing. I just picked this Barbie up, but wall space is very precious as well. Very precious. As you can see here, I guess you name it. It's it's on the wall. Everything's on the wall. So I just wanted to give you guys just a glimpse into MIB collectors' dream and nightmare, if you will. and they're a little bit of both, because when you collect mint in box, mint on card, mint in package items, it limits your space. Your space is severely compromised at that point, because the boxes, looking here at my Bigfoot vehicle here, you saw the video on that. This is where he rests now, and he just don't rest here. There's a couple items resting on top of that, and they're light. If I set something on top of another item, the weight issues are very drastic in a good way. So it doesn't, these items are very light compared to this box. Nice sturdy box. But this one giant Bigfoot vehicle, RC vehicle box takes up I'm creating, look at that dust, takes up tons of space, tons of space. Road Rage figures in there. Space. I'm sitting stuff on top of stuff. You know, all of my massive dinosaurs. They got to go somewhere. All this stuff has to go somewhere, guys, and it's just a matter of where you put it. But I'm very careful. I'm very calculating in a process of making those decisions, of sitting stuff on stuff. You can't sit something super heavy on something that's flimsy. Just, basic physics, right? You'll ruin it. Some people don't care though. They just want to get it out. I do care though. I care about every item I have. I understand that my M3 tank destroyer is about 30 pounds. So we have a steel shelving here to support that. Certain shelving can't, plastic shelving can't support the weight of a 30-pound item for very long. So we're just, I'm always keeping that in mind, but it's fun in the regard that, I'm always coming down trying to figure out how to create more space. So you got to have fun with it, guys, or it'll drive you crazy. And yes, the immediate response I get that a lot of collectors tell me, stop collecting. Just stop it. Stop doing it. That's not going to happen. So I have to figure out ways to create more space. And right now, the best way I could create more space is buying more shelving. So we can just tidy things up down here in the collection room / storage room / archives room. So just kind of, do it like that and clean things out a little bit, create more walking space and more space, for future items. So that's it in a nutshell, guys. I just want to kind of bring you in and show you, what we're doing on the front of dealing with our space issues. And if you have any questions, by all means, guys, put it in the comment section right underneath this video, guys. You know the routine. God bless. Stay safe. Definitely keep collecting and create more space.